Okay, welcome to Vendor Visions Podcast. I'm your host, Brittany, aka 5150, and I'm pumped to give you a front row seat to the experiences, challenges, and triumphs that change our local community. Vendors from various industries all around the valley. Today we have a special guest, JP from Prison Pies. He's going to talk to us about being in the food industry when he used to be in the MMJ industry and did t-shirts and merch and all that fun stuff. So, without further ado, welcome as my first guest.
Thank you. I'm stoked. This is a good idea. This whole vendor, nobody thinks of the vendors and everything that goes behind closed doors. Like you see us ready, you see us with a smiling face, and a lot of people don't understand the stresses that go on behind prior to these these events.
What would you say was like the hardest thing when it comes to whether you're setting up your clothing merch booth when it's like a huge 20 by 20 versus like now with the food cart and like your little 10 by 10? Like, is there a lot of similarities, differences? What?
There an event is an event. So if you're a vendor, you kind of there's a different energy when you're at an event. And but between food and I've been a vendor for a long time, going on 15 years now. And I've been to Vegas and just all seen concerts and small markets and stuff like that. But it's all the same energy, and you just have to put on. You just have to. Some people have it, some people don't. And if you don't, you realize it really, really fast.
Yep, that's very true. Let's see. What is something now that you're in the food industry and it's your first experience doing that? Like, what would you recommend to like first time foodies and whatnot, like that you learned that
If you're a food person, just try to be different. Everybody can sell a taco. You can't reinvent the hot dog. Just try to come up with something that is you. And it doesn't matter what background you come from or whatever, just to make something that's yours, and that'll make you stand out. And that's the main advice I got. Just be you. Don't be someone else, because you can't be someone else. So.
And I know you're really big on just because someone's selling the same thing, whether it's some type of merch or food, like smallies or nachos or whatever.
Yeah,
you don't shy away from that. You believe in it's what competition was your little.
Yeah, it's a free market. We're in America. We're in the United States, and a free market is something that that we got to be proud of. And when somebody tells me, whether I'm selling food or I'm selling clothing or whatever, when they tell me, oh, you're gonna be the only shirt guy there, or hey, you're gonna be the only one selling tamales or whatever, that's not necessarily a selling point to me. I want to be there with other people selling shirts, with other people selling the same type of food that I got, just so I can say, hey, like, give people a choice, and let the consumer choose. And now I'm confident in my product. Whatever I put out, whether it's artwork, whether it's food or whatever, I'm very, very confident. And hey, you put my tamal up against anybody's, and hey, I have a I'm confident, and I'm gonna come up on top.
Yeah.
And if somebody else does, hey, it is what it is. You got to know how to take a loss if you're a new business as well.
That's very true. I know that when I've been in the food industry before, like as a server and a bartender and whatnot, so I kind of helped helped him out. I'm his business partner, by the way. I forgot to mention.
Yeah,
Hi.
Britt. If you guys are new or whatever, if you're at the Prison Pies booth, you'll see Britt taking all the orders, and she makes our table look pretty, and she does all of our marketing and logos and stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys ever need her services, she offers that as well. She wears many hats for sure.
Yeah, but so why like helped you out when it came to like certain, like I guess like dealing with hungry foodies and whatnot, just because of that, because hungry people are the worst. And you know, it was a lot of trials and tribulations, and I know that it was a lot different from when, even with that experience and bringing that on board to the company, like as a vendor, like I was used to that, but setting up for, you know, smoke shop stuff or merch or whatever is a little bit different. Like I know that when I was setting up for my business, I have a smoke shop geared towards like female smokers. That was a big selling point, that even though there was other people selling, you know, glass or, you know, accessories or whatever, that all the girls, even guys, a lot of times would flock to my table because of the presentation. So I knew from being a vendor in that industry, I knew that was important for our little pop up when we just got one little 6-foot table, that it was really important, especially because we do have a unique, you know, brand and gimmick, I guess you'd say. So it kind of, to me, I wanted to bring people on, like, or drop people in and not be scared, because like we think of prison food and like that whole stigma and everything. I wanted to be like kind of not campy or anything, but just kind of like, you know, we had a cookbook that was like prison food themed, and like a little, it's like what teachers put the kids' cell phones in when they're bad, like it's a little jail. So we use that with like a little homie in there, and just like, you know, pictures of the food and everything to kind of make it more like
Yeah, you have
friendly.
to have a theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have a theme, and I'm a big believer in catering to certain genres of whatever it is, you know. Again, you know, clothing line, you know, that if you have a clothing line catered to a certain genre of people, and you're gonna hit your target audience a lot easier and make a lot. You can create a movement when you're doing something like that. Same thing with the food, you know. It's just you gotta think about your target audience prior to starting anything. And you know, yeah, there's tons of people that again, you know, I'm gonna go to the tacos. I mean, we're in Arizona, you know what I mean? Two people gobble tacos like crazy. And so I didn't, you know, I mean, I can cook, I can make tacos. I can slant. I could have easily made a Mexican food cart, you know, I mean, like real quick, real easy, and I know I would have sold a lot. But that's an easy route, you know what I mean? And I think a real true entrepreneur is somebody that just looks outside of the box, you know. And yeah, so once you have a target audience, things are a little bit easier for you.
Facts. And I think it helps to have something that makes you memorable. If there are other vendors that are like you, or you guys have the same like concept or whatever, like I think it's important to have something that makes you unique, so that even if you have like 4 other tamale vendors there, that they remember yours specifically because of something. Like, for instance, he yells it's chow time, because that's what they did in prison and whatnot. And so we have some marketing stuff that, you know, says that, and so that's the whole thing. And like people who have been to prison, they, you know, will say that from like across the way and everything. And then we also have a A-frame sign that says food so good it should be illegal. So we kind of like do a play on that theme. So I think it's important to kind of tie things in and make it your own, right?
Yes, absolutely. And another thing, I'm glad you said that, because that's another thing that vendors, if you're out there, you know, if you own a company, or you're thinking about starting a company, the difference between sales and marketing are two totally different. They go hand in hand, but do some research on marketing and sales, you know. And those are two things that are really change your business. If you have a slogan. You need a slogan and something that you can use at events or on your flyers or on your social media or whatever it is that'll stick in your customer's head. Like, hey, like, yeah, like she said, it's chow time. Have you ever been to county jail or a prison yard or whatever? That's what they yell. Hey, it's chow time. We're about to, get ready for chow. You get your IDs and you start lining up, and and that's kind of, to me, that was one of the, oh shit, sorry, excuse me. Um, that was one of the things that that's kind of stuck out to me. Like, hey, when they say it's chow time, and oh shit, all right, cool, we're gonna eat. So that's kind of our slogan. And but yeah, a lot of that stuff helps, and yeah, that's the marketing portion of getting sales.
So another thing I know that vendors have to deal with is like people act like they can haggle with things. Like you wouldn't go to Walmart and be like, actually, I want to pay $5 for this, not $25. It's like, especially if you made like handcrafted things or like all the, the artists out there and whatnot. Like you guys as like consumers don't understand, like this is our baby, and like we put a lot of time and effort. And it's like a lot of people are putting in their own money into their businesses, starting from scratch. It was a hobby or like some kind of passion, and they wanted to, make it into a business and like make money out of it. And some people solely rely on their vending business as their income. So when you try to like ask for prices or deals or whatever, or you ask for a price and they tell it to you and you're like, ugh, and then like walk away and get all disgusted, it's like you're basically saying like, ew, our baby's ugly. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, you wouldn't go, like I said, like you wouldn't go to another store and, if you wanted a product, then you pay the price, period. Like unless it's on sale, but that's the store's decision. And so, you guys aren't just getting like that product, you're getting like the blood, sweat, and tears behind that product, whether it's, the tamales or, my smoke shop stuff or whatever. Like it's, you got like, if it is above your price range, that's fine. But there's other ways that you can support, like take a picture of their like booth and like tag them, because that, like, a lot of people can't afford the marketing and running ads and whatnot. So just like promoting them and just be like, oh, look how cute their booth is, or oh man, that food looked good that this customer had, or whatever the case may be. That helps a lot too, and that doesn't cost you anything. So I think it's important to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that yeah, everybody that whether you buy food from us or not, or whatever it is, social media is so huge nowadays. I mean, just a simple share, a picture, and just like she said, a picture and a share is so just it means a lot. A lot of times it means more than just buying tamale, what I mean? So yeah, no, just like you would support, I don't know who's famous, Swifty, what's her name?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, yeah, Taylor Swift. Yeah, just like you would support Taylor Swift, support a local business like that. You know what I mean? Share their stuff. They need it more than Swifty.
That
so
50 is her followers, not her.
Okay, yeah, then whatever. But yeah, so yeah, no, it definitely means a lot with the haggling prices. Hey, I understand. I've been to events and like had a certain budget. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I got 3 people with me. I'm paying for their food. I'm willing to spend this much of either that or I'm not eating. You know what I'm saying? So hey, and I'll work with people. But I mean, if it's ridiculous, hey man, you can keep walking.
Yeah,
But
well, you can do that with your
and I will tell you, I am not shy about telling you, hey man, you get on before you get shit on. You know what I mean?
It's funny though, because when it's so crazy, because like with my stuff, I don't know if they do this with your t-shirt business, but I know with my stuff, when they ask for prices, like that's why I ended up putting like price tags on it, because one, I couldn't remember how much I was going to charge stuff, and then I feel bad because they're like right there, and I really want to sell it to them, and if they look like not that I'm trying to judge a book by its cover, but like if, for instance, like
when somebody's thinking about,
and they really like it,
they're
and they're showing a
budgeting
friend.
right now,
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, if they're young and they're new, or maybe a repeat customer, then I'm like, okay, like normally it's like $40, but because you're a repeat customer, or because like I know how excited you are, then I'll do it for like 30. But like, and most of them like, okay, cool, oh my god, thank you so much, blah blah blah. But like it's crazy because like with food, like no one haggles prices on food, and it's funny because people actually tell us to raise our prices all the time.
no,
and it's the funniest thing ever.
No, definitely, and what from what we're doing, I saw prison food, and it's just something different, it's just something that nobody's doing, and a lot of people are putting it up on TikTok, and they're they're getting tons of views and this and this and that, but nobody's putting their ass out there, and that's what we're doing. We're putting our money where our mouth is, and we're showing the people, we're showing our consumers that, hey, our food is good. It's not this ain't, it's not a joke, what I mean? And I'm using everything that we that we used in prison, in our ingredients or whatever, but that's why we're cheap. You know what I mean? Because I don't want price to be the determining factor whether they taste my food or not. Because I know if they taste my food once, they're gonna come back, and they're gonna buy from me, 3 or 4 times, and then tell people about it. So that's why we make, our food is cheap, and a lot of people tell us to raise our prices, but I'm not doing that anytime soon.
And I feel like sometimes because our prices are so cheap, people buy more, so it kind of benefits.
Absolutely,
that way as well.
They're not worried about, hey, I'm gonna bring my friend and pay for my friend too. Even though they may or may not want to eat it, I'm a hey man, I'm gonna bring my homie and my other homie that's been to prison. And I had one dude that's been to prison say that my shit's fake. So I'm proud of that. So yeah.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. Let's see, what else is there? Like what else would you say is, what's a funny story or like a crazy story that you've experienced, whether it's the MJ industry or with prison pies? What's something like that stuck out that either maybe like not so much a warning, but just things to look out for when it comes to being a vendor or like at events in general to like prepare for? Like the other day we got caught in a dust storm as there was a fly attacking me. Yeah. But yeah, just like stuff like that you don't expect.
I mean, I've oh my god, like I like I said, I've been a vendor at a lot of places. Funny stories, I mean, there's tons of funny stories. We did a tattoo expo with Mary Jane Smokewear, and we did this. They were doing a suspension.
Exhibit?
Like exhibit, yeah. So what they would do is it's called flesh suspension. So they hang these people with shark hooks on their back, on their chest, on their calves, and it was pretty insane. So these people came up, and it was this little person, and he had a little mohawk, and he was a crazy looking little guy, but he was cool as hell. So we gave him a bunch of gear, you know what I mean? We gave him a bunch of shirts and stuff like that. But then he had this chick with him, and she was very pretty in her face, but she also had a mohawk. She had a bigger mohawk, but she was all like pierced up and tattooed and all that. She actually had a cross embedded into her chest under her skin that like it was crazy. It looked like bones. Ew. Like it was a cross bones, but it was in her chest plate. But yeah, it was some type of like implant or something like that. But anyways, so they get a bunch of gear from us, and then they're about ready to promote their show, right? And what they were doing was, okay, this little guy, he's in a wheelchair, and he puts the shark hooks on the girl's back.
Ew.
And she's running through the hallway, through the little aisles or whatever. And this little guy, he's yelling and screaming, and he has a whip, and he's whipping her, bam, bam. And she's dragging him he's holding the chains, and she's dragging him through the aisles. And then just all of a sudden, he'll just like hit the brakes.
Oh my God.
With them shark hooks
Ew.
on her back, and she's gone. And he'll hit his little brakes or whatever on his wheelchair, and then just pull her back. And then that's the beginning of the show.
Oh my God.
For what that you're gonna see. So that was a trip. That was one of the craziest things that I've seen at a show.
That beats the dust storm.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Dust storms ain't nothing. I've been in way worse dust storms.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I've never experienced that with setting up as a vendor in other industries.
No. I was in another. This was in Denver, Colorado. This event is called the 420 rally. 200,000 people go to this event. It's in the Capitol. It's right in front of the Capitol, Denver Capitol or whatever. And this thing's insane. It's 420 is a holiday in Denver, Colorado. They shut down the city. The whole downtown is just it's insane. Well, we're setting up for this event. There was like a little bit of snow on the ground. It was still cold. It's in April still. But I don't remember who was performing. I think it was somebody from the West Coast. It might have been Dub C or something like that. It was DJ Quick. It was DJ Quick. He was performing, and then next thing you know, pop, 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 you start hearing gunshots.
Oh, hell no.
And at this time, there wasn't 200,000 people there because it was still early. I would say there's about 80,000 people at this event. Seeing all them people run at one time, you know what I mean? Like, hey, it was insane. And I'm like, this is around the time when still today we're still living in it with the mass shootings, you know what I mean? And they just had that one in Colorado at the movie theater. It wasn't too long before that, after that. So I'm like, damn, and hey, I've been in shootouts, you know what I mean? So I knew exactly what to do. I got down, I looked, I was looking in the area where they were shooting from. I'm peeping everything, and but that was, it was insane just seeing all that chaos, but that's another crazy thing.
Yeah, being a vendor is not for the weak, like you had mentioned before. Like you literally,
that's kind of, that's
never know. Yeah, but you never know because that like there's no 2 days are the same at all. Even when we set up every Wednesday across the street from Phoenix Parking Swap, 5 to 10, just so you know. Like even that every day it's different. Different people come. Even our regulars, like not all our regulars come every single Wednesday, but like you never know, like traffic wise, street wise, cops, fire trucks and whatnot, the weather. Like, yeah, we started a business in the summertime. # do not recommend.
No, I highly recommend that.
No,
I highly recommend.
He does. I remember.
I highly recommend you starting your business in the worst possible time.
You ever planned it.
Ever. Just because you know what's gonna happen. The only thing you can do is move up.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like the only thing, if you started during tax time when the weather's good, hey, you're gonna have an inflated ego, be like, oh man, because you know why? Because everybody got money, everybody it's nice out, so people are outside. No, start it in August during the worst time of the year when people ain't got money, when people are mad. Start your business then, and go through hell before you start making your profits or whatever. Because hey, if not, hey man, you're it's gonna hurt. I'm telling you, it's gonna hurt. If you started during the best time of year, you're gonna be looking for. That's all you're gonna look for. You know what I'm saying? But I've started several businesses, and that's what I recommend personally.
You did not know when you started.
I didn't.
this.
No, I started both of my businesses. One of them was during the housing crash in 2009, 2010. We were in a recession when I started Mary Jane Smokewear. And that was not the time of year that you should have started a business. And we started it, and I was making sales like crazy, and I even made a shirt that said recession proof because we were in a recession and we were still making money. So yes, I do. I have started businesses that, and like, I'm not just saying this. I highly recommend doing it at the worst damn possible time.
Well, let's say it this way: if you happen,
My
because not
second
everybody
business
knows.
was during COVID, so you know what I mean. Like, hey.
I mean, I started my business 4 months before what was
Yeah.
COVID, and I did not plan it. I didn't foresee it, especially an event planning business right before COVID. And I mean, you can't predict, especially if you're new in the industry, you can't predict when
you
things are bad, like the seasons are bad or
In the
whatever.
summertime, you can predict.
Yeah. Any outdoor activities or just events in general, they like to the point where a lot of the events that we learned that too, that after a certain month, literally outdoor events shut down during the summer because it's bad for your health.
Yeah,
and
you gotta adjust.
Yeah, and even with
stuff like that,
you know, vendors that have your tent and all that fun stuff, it's still like it's a nightmare, and people don't come out. People don't want to be out there, so it's like, why bother setting up if you're not going to get people coming to the event to buy your stuff anyways because they're too hot. So they shut down events. So that's another thing to think about as well when it comes to seasons. But I think how we can revise your statement: if you happen to start your business and it's not the best time, just know that it's going to get better, and everything is, you know, about aches and pains and trials and tribulations and whatnot. And you learn from it. Everything's a learning experience. You learn, you grow, you adjust and everything. And, you know, it benefits you in the long run because you know what not to do, and you keep, you know, pushing through. If it's really what your passion is, like, don't give up. There's been times like I was about to give up when, you know, because I was a new business, and I was like, how, if I only sell at events and not doing events anymore, how the heck am I going to like get new customers and, you know, do all that stuff? But luckily, you know, at the time he actually made my shirts for my business, and that's how we connected and then turned into like my mentor. And I was like, I'm just going to quit. Like, I'm new. What does it matter anyways? Like, it's a sign. I shouldn't have done this, blah, 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 you know, being all emo. And he's like, no. He's like, you'll figure it out. Don't quit. Like, I'm not going to let you quit. Like, you have a good idea. Like, everybody loves your stuff. Like, we'll make it work. And we actually did end up doing a little Friday night meetup thing for all the vendors, because a lot of people do work from home or they only are exposed to themselves. So there's like a communal immunity thing or whatever. So like everybody was stayed away from that stuff and no one was sick. And every Friday we meet up, and it was like something to look forward to every single week, that, you know, because nothing was going on, but it was just our little clique. Then I brought my little smoke shop stuff to the park and sold all my things, and actually made more money that first year during COVID than I had the rest of the time that I've been in business. So, and it actually, it taught me, or gave me time to like hone in on my graphic design skills, which is, now that we have business together, 3 years after that, now because of COVID, like slowing me down, I got to pivot, and then I still learned from that whole experience. So it kind of benefited all of us, right?
Yeah, a lot of the times that you know, when you start a business, you're gonna have to be able to be flexible. You know, I mean, your business is gonna, you know, yes, you have an idea of what you want to do, but a lot of times, you know, life is gonna change that. You know what I mean? So you just gotta know how to adjust, despite the situation. You know what I mean? Like, you know, quitting isn't an option, unless you just don't want to do it no more. If your passion isn't in it, don't do it. But if you're just doing it for money strictly or whatever, then hey, you know, I understand that too. You know, you're an investor. But if you're an entrepreneur, is a little bit different. And yeah, just keep that grind, and the market's going to tell you where to go. You know, I mean, your customers are going to teach you a lot. So yeah, just keep on it.
Yup. Yeah, because I wanted to quit. And then also, I know another great piece of advice you gave me, like when I was like, oh, if I have to, you know, it was my business was kind of slowing down a little bit because everybody ran out of their stimulus checks and whatnot. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to like literally get a job, because I was doing my stuff full time, like trying to be somebody. And I was like, dude, I can't do this. I'm gonna have to get a real job now. And now like I felt all defeated, and like felt like that means I suck as a business owner and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, no, lots of people get day jobs to fund what they're passionate about. And that's like part of it. Cause like if you don't have money for investors or you're not at that point yet or whatever, or don't have money saved up to have your business, you know, you need that funding source, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's another thing to teach people.
Absolutely. Like there's no, you don't see it as a bad thing if you're working and doing a business. You know what I mean? Like hey, if you got an 8-hour job, hey, it don't matter. You know what I mean? You can still move, 3-4 hours on your business after work. How bad do you want it? And if you're that passionate about it, then you're gonna get it. And it's that moment after doing that for so long, you the pride that you take from telling your job, hey, I don't need you no more. Ain't no feeling in the world like that. You know what I mean? To where hey, I'm confident that I do not need this 40 an hour or 40 hour week. You know what I mean? I'm about to put 65 hours a week and love and smile the whole time, even though you're going through back cramps or your hands are cramping up and you're tired and you're sweaty and you're miserable. But you know what? You're doing it for you, not for somebody else. So yeah, no, that's important. And there's nothing bad about having to work at McDonald's or working at a car wash or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Hey man, hey, you funding the rest of your life with this little job. You know what I mean? And you're paying your bills, and because we all got lives, you know what I mean? We got kids, we got rent, we got gas, we got to buy food. You know what I mean? So hey man, there ain't nothing that should make you feel bad about that, man. You should be proud of that. You know what I mean? Because hey, this is what I'm about to do. I mean,
oh yeah. Well, now I finally am able to see the comments because I didn't set that up prior. Because
what up, Juan?
But wanted to say hi to our friends. Juan Ramirez. He actually has his own business with his wife. It's a car washing detail. A1. I don't know exactly. A1. It's a long one. I don't want to say it wrong.
Auto detailing.
That one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they do detailing. Hit them up for sure. They're dope. They're mobile too, so they can come to you.
And they're awesome, and they're friends, and they show mad love. They help us out at events. Just they don't get anything out of it. They do it for free, and they like help us out setting up lights and stuff because it is a lot of work. Awesome. And even with us, like now that we're not new to this, it's still like always. If people are offering help, take it. That's what I can recommend 100% because you don't need to do everything yourself. You can, but you can, if people are willing to help you in any facet when it comes to like setting up events or your booth or like, even just to watch your booth while you go to the bathroom or like walk around. That was always my thing when I was a vendor. I always did everything by myself. And then like, I could never like schmooze with the other vendors or like see even who was there because I literally could not move from my spot. And I know we can't just trust anybody, especially when it comes to money. And if you have people like coming up to your booth and wanting to buy things when you're in the bathroom or whatever, but definitely a lot of things are family oriented. I feel like a lot of people have their families help them out, like their kids and stuff will like help. Like I know we put his daughter to work. She knows how to do my job. I taught her well, and obviously we can trust her because she's a kid. And and it's funny because she's like, I don't want to do your job. I don't want to be you. I'm like, yeah, it's not easy. I make it look easy because I learned, but yeah, I don't like it's not for the weak, I guess you'd say. But yeah, they're actually Juan and Angelica are gonna be guests in like 3 weeks, I think it is. We have them on the calendar, so stay tuned for that. And then I saw Gordy was on there. Shout out to Gordy. He's awesome. Gordy. For like low key dope, and it's not being sexist, but for being a man. No offense to the men in this room, but when it comes to events and planning in general, like I'll just say that planning in general, guys aren't the best at it. They're just kind of like, yeah, I'll figure it out on this day at this time. Except for Mike, shut up. And you're on point and stuff, but he has his little right hand lady as well and his homies. But like Gordy is on top of things. Like I don't have to hold his hand. I don't have to be like, hey, did you do this? Did you do this? Oh, no, I forgot. No, he handles everything. He is on point. He gets all the sponsors. I'll help out with vendors here and there and stuff like that. But day of the event, I give him my little walkie-talkie because I always have to find him. So I give him the walkie-talkie in case something's going on because he's in charge. But like, and I help him out with the flyers and everything. But he is definitely on point. He's doing so much for the community. He just had a haircutting barbershop thing on Sunday.
Free haircuts.
Yep, free haircuts. We have a kickback. It was a kickback and cruise, but now we just changed it to kickback, where he has all, like, not all, but like a bunch of the up and coming artists, performers, rappers, singers, groups, whatever you want to call them, in Arizona that don't get a lot of love. They give them a platform to, promote the new music and connect with one another and everything. And it's just really great to see because there are a lot of youngsters and everything. And it's nice to, everybody comes together and like supports each other. And it's a nice, healthy atmosphere. And no one's trying to be a gangster. No one's have to worry about that. It's all family friendly.
Yeah, it's good, positive vibe.
Yes, big time. So that event that we're vendors at, if you want to come by, is March 23rd. From 7 to 11 at our pop-up spot on 40th and Washington, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And there's flyers already. You can follow him. I don't know if he's still on, but yeah, check out his fun stuff because there's a lot of things going on. What about you? What else is going on? Oh, do you want to talk about how awesome connections are and who you're going to be working with the third year in a row?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're doing tons of stuff. We're real, we're heavy in our community or whatever. We just for the third year in a row, we've been working with the Talaverde Foundation. They actually work with inmates in Perryville prison, women convicts, and they just they're awesome. You know what I mean? They have a telemarketing job in there, and then when they get released, they can work out here with Talaverde Foundation as well. And they're connected to a lot of nonprofits and stuff like that that are doing amazing things for ex convicted felons or convicted felons that were incarcerated or whatever. So that just brings up the success rate, you know what I mean, of you not having to go back to prison. So that's pretty dope. But yeah, we've been working with them. We'll be doing an event with them next month. We got tons of things going on. We're also working with the Arizona Department of Corrections, with the parole department, on different things. We used to go speak at their orientation or whatever. So everybody that got released out of prison had to go to this orientation every week, and I'd speak to them and just try to inspire them a little bit, But yeah, tons of things going on.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's crazy because you never know. Like we've had a lot of things happen that you wouldn't normally expect from a food business. He had a documentary made from him about his little story about how he came up with the idea of wanting to sell prison food and like what inspired him and whatnot. Daryl says, "What's on the menu for the summer?" Would you like to see? Summer,
yeah, no, pretty much the same thing. We're trying to expand our menu a little bit, but yeah, we're taking it slow. You know, I mean, we still saw a ton of tamales. We just added our pork lo mein. That's killing it right now. We added menudo for a little bit. It just takes so long. And then we actually won second place at a menudo competition against Real Las Nanas. You know what I mean? They had they had their aprons and their hairnets and everything. And they were looking mad sad when we took second place.
Yep. And yeah, the production company helped put on that event and everything. So that was awesome to be supported by them and be involved in a high class fight.
Yeah, high class.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, he has a documentary. Then that documentary about his story, behind the scenes story of his life and his time locked up and how he got the idea for this. Was actually submitted to film festivals. He actually we went to Palm Springs. Was it? I was gonna say music festival. That's not right.
Yeah, we were in
short film festival.
in the Palm Springs short film festival. It's called Short Fest. But that's a international film festival, and it's Oscar nominating festival. So like you can like literally win an Oscar for a short film if you if you win or whatever, or at least been in the runnings. But a lot of people know about the Sunset Film Festival, but it's similar to that. It's not that that big or whatever. But yeah, we're at Palm Springs Short Fest. We're at New Orleans Film Festival. We actually took best of the audience chose us. That was another Oscar qualifying international film festival. We were also in the Memphis Film Festival. We took something there, I believe.
Was it Community Voice or something?
Community Voice. And then we won for the ASU Film Festival. That was best community voice. But yeah, no, it's been amazing. You know what I mean? Like just something that I never expected or anything like that, and to just be involved and then to actually, like win something that like, man, that was nuts.
That's crazy because you never know. Like I said, like you start off at one thing, one passion or whatever that you want to pursue, in whatever industry, and then somehow like a food cart little drinking thing turned into selling personal food, turned into documentaries. Oh, Nacho Mafia, hi. Then there's shots and they're amazing.
Shout out
oh my
to
god.
Nacho Mafia.
Side note, I'm gonna go off on a little tangent right now because ADHD. They are amazing. I gotta get them on the podcast.
Yeah.
They have the most fire freaking nachos ever. They are husband and wife team, and his mom, I think it's his, he has to use bathroom. Sorry, guys. They have like homemade recipes for their cheese sauce with the roast beef, and I think I have like 10. Don't quote me. Menu items, and they have these sweet nachos that are literally to die for. They're cinnamon like chips and with fresh, not like squishy, nasty strawberries or like bottom of the barrel status, but like fresh, like super ripe strawberries, chocolate sauce, and like this like whipped cream, like what is it, like I don't know, whipped cream something or other, but cheesecake, is that right? I don't know. But yeah, they put that on top. Oh my god, the price is reasonable. They have 2 different sizes. They have a small and a large of each of their nachos, minus the sweet, I think. And shoot, they could charge $20 and I'd still pay for that. I don't care. But that's another thing. Any food vendors that are out there, like that is what we learned being in the food industry. Everybody likes to do barters and trades and stuff like that. So like you get to try all the food if they're cool. If they're not, then they don't get any of our tamales and we don't get their food. But like obviously everybody's willing to like pay for other people because they know how it is. But we like to trade stuff. So like we always call dibs on like the sweet nachos, and like I think my favorite one is probably the chorizo one, or like there's another one. I don't know if they're still on here, but there's another one that's like on the top of their menu. I take pictures all the time, but apparently I don't remember the words, but it's the top one on their menu. Anyways, they switch out like our tamales for them, and I'm like, anything you want, we got you. And then also Carmen, she's amazing, from Benavides Ice Cream. She's always at the kickbacks that Gordy does, and she actually does a crap ton, her and her family, and they have a huge setup with an ice cream van and then like 4 tables, I think.
Yeah.
And they have like, they saved their butts when we forgot our coffee, and they had like hot chocolate and stuff because it was freezing out, and we're like, go to them, and we always switch out with them and trade stuff and everything. And they make, what was it the last time? Soup? Was it sopa, or was it? She made some kind of soup.
Yeah, that sopa was bomb.
Yeah. So yeah, she's another like person you should follow. I'm trying to get her on the podcast, but she's a little shy, but I'm going to work on her eventually because she's amazing. She has a great story, and she's so friendly, and she works with her daughter, and her daughter's husband. Yeah, it's fine. It's that's how you show that you guys get along. Yeah, I didn't know they get along so well. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're dope.
That's another like freaking hashtag life hack or whatever. if you do work with your family or your significant other or your kids, vending is hard work. And because, you know, your family, you're mean to each other and stuff. But just know at the end of the day, like, you guys are a team and you guys have one goal, which is, you know, have a successful event, make money, make connections, all that stuff. And just know, like, you know, don't kill each other because it's not worth it. But it's hard. And, you know, family is very important. And having people you can rely on in general, like whether it's friends, family, or whatever, having a solid team behind you, I feel like is what makes you successful. Like, yeah, sure, you can do shit by yourself and you know, work your butt off to be successful, but having a team behind you, and sometimes we've even had like people that support us, like customers, have literally, when he's ran out of nacho chips before, have literally volunteered to go get us nachos at Walmart real quick so that we can continue to sell our food. And that just means the world to us that we have so many people that like are complete strangers basically that support the business and are willing to do that stuff because they believe in us. And it really kind of, you know, makes you keep pushing because you know that people depend on you. And like, or when you have to cancel an event because of like personal reasons or weather and people get sad, like, looky, it's a good feeling. Like, even though it's yeah, I'm sorry for disappointing you or whatever the case may be, but like, to know that people miss you is like an awesome feeling. And to know that they're looking forward to seeing you, or they specifically came to an event because they knew that you were there or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good feeling.
Oh yeah.
Juan, he says teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, no,
sure.
enough can be said for the people that, you know, like, you know, behind the scenes that help out and just yeah, it's just, you know, I mean, because yeah, just like she said, you know, if it's a lot of these companies, you know, a lot of these low, you know, small businesses, you know, they're family run, and we understand. Hey, you could be mad as hell at your kids or your significant other or whatever, cussing each other out in the car, but as soon as that event starts, hey, you got to put a smile on your face and you got to put it on hold until, you know, until you get home or whatever. But yeah, it's all one, you know, everybody's focused on one thing, and the people that aren't in that, you know, exactly in the mix or whatever, but you know, our friends and family that help out or whatever. I mean, it's just, yeah, enough can't be said for how much you can appreciate them people, you know. And I try to return it with free food, but that ain't enough, you know. I mean, yeah, they're much appreciated for sure.
Yeah, Dr. Mafia said teamwork makes the dream work too. Which,
oh yeah,
and we know I try. Like, I think we both have like we try real hard to like if we get into it prior because like you said, it's stressful, or like we forget something, or like something happens right before we're setting up, or like some kind of debacle, and we have to like go through that. And we're both Pisces, even though he doesn't believe in astrology. We actually have the same birthday. It's tomorrow. Happy birthday to us. Dork. He's like anti-birthday, and I'm like all about birthdays.
I hate birthdays.
Male Pisces, God, worse. Anyways, like we both are very like sensitive. He's angry sensitive. I'm emotional sensitive.
You're sensitive.
I know. I just said I'm emotional sensitive. So but regardless, whether it's anger or emotion, like it's just being passionate about stuff or being like we put a lot of expectations on ourselves and a lot of pressure on ourselves personally. And we know like what it takes. We have to get our mind right. You know what I mean? And like when we're about vibes and everything. So when I'm in a bad mood, first of all, you can see that on my face. I cannot hide it. I am not, I have resting bitch face anyways. And so when I'm upset or like something happened, like it's really hard for me to like make an effort to like not have resting bitch face / upset face. So we try not to fight, but even though we get pissy as we're setting up when no one's around so we can get it all out, we know that as soon as, you know, it hits 5 o'clock, we have to put our game faces on because no one wants to come to a booth that like when like a couple or like a family is fighting, it makes it awkward to be around. And it's like, oh, I don't want to go there. And they're like yelling at each other and stuff like, oh, what the heck? Like angry vibes. No, thank you. So like we like try to make an effort to not bring our BS to it, but you can still tell. Friends know what's up and they get pissy, but we get over it.
Thank you for the birthday wishes.
Yeah, I thought you're good. You see it more. I'm like, I don't want to squint. I don't have my glasses on. But yeah, like it's important. And a lot of times when we do have successful events, it makes us in a better mood. And eventually, even if we're pissed out, like when we first start, I'd say within the first hour, we're fine.
But yeah, no, it's yeah, you got to go. You got to, you know, yeah, it's
Cher.
It's showtime.
I got really excited.
Yeah.
Cher's on. Cher
What up, Cher?
is amazing. I love her to death. She was my, we called her, well, we had like a name for each other. Now I can't remember because it's been so long, but I think it was Chamber Besties or something. It was really cute.
Mm-hmm.
We worked together and she's amazing. I thought I was on point with my, speaking of like vendor hacks, like I think I'm organized and like not, I wouldn't say anal because I have to like go with the flow because dealing with this one. And also you never know what's gonna happen, so you literally can't be like super strict. But Cher is literally like top notch. She has everything written down, like organized, time thing, and she makes that shit happen, and it's impressive. So shout out to Cher. She's amazing. She's a real estate agent, and you, if you need a house or anything, you should hit her up. So shout out to her. Ooh, she could be a, I don't know, if that's the same thing, vendors and realtors, but who cares? You're an entrepreneur. You work for yourself, and she does awesome setup too. Like she does like staging for the houses and whatnot. She actually got my dresser from her. Thanks, Cher. I got really excited that she was on because I didn't know she was gonna be on here. Ah, there she is. I know she's like, oh god, she's such a dork. But yeah, she's awesome. But anyways, so what else is going on with you, and what else you want to tell the people?
I mean, just if you guys have any questions, I'm always free to ask. I'm real passionate about getting you know, if you've been to prison or if you have felonies or whatever, getting your rights restored. I do that for free. You know, I'll give you that info. I will go with you to the courthouse to help you, you know, get your charges and all that, get all your numbers or whatever, and you know, just so you can get your rights restored. Very passionate about that. I'm also very passionate about getting people to get visitation rights for their kids. That's another thing. You know, I have full custody of my daughter, you know, and it took a long time to do that. But you know, I'm very passionate about that, and I'll bend backwards to help someone, whether it's a father or a mother or whatever, just to get in their kids' lives again, because you know, we have rights. So yeah, that's and that's all outside of food, you know what I mean? And like obviously I want to start tamales, but no, I want to help people out as well.
And let's see, and where can people find you? What is all your handles and all that fun stuff?
TikTok, Prison Pies AZ, Instagram, Prison Pies AZ, Facebook, Prison Pies. Our website is www.prisonpies.com. Email sales@prisonpies.com or sales@prisonpies.
Yep.
Let me see. Yeah, sales@prisonpies.com. Yeah. My bad.
Oh, thanks, Juan.
And thank you, Juan. Appreciate you. I think that's it. I can't give you my address.
No. Yes, you can. You need the pop-up address.
We'll be on. Yeah, I will give you my address. 40th Street in Washington. Every Wednesday, from 5 to 10 p.m.
But don't count on food being ready at 5. Just saying. And be willing to help if you're gonna come early as shit. 4 or 5. You're gonna be put to work, especially our regulars. If you pull up at 4 o'clock and you see that we're barely putting tables out, guess what? You're gonna work for your food. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, and also thanks for everybody who has supported us. And I know there was a huge foodie. Was it who was it? AZ Foodie, the big one.
Yeah. We've had a Senor Foodie. We appreciate the
So after he did
all
his
the
promotion,
foodies. We'd had AZ Food Boss. We had
English food wishing you success. You see what she said?
Oh man, what?
You missed it. She said wishing you success.
Mexi Papa. That was huge. I mean, he came all the way out from Cali to do a thing on us, and appreciate you, Cher. So yeah, no, the foodies are you know what? That's one thing that, you know, you think, hey, if you get on the news and you're a small company or whatever, and you know, that's awesome. But the whatchamacallit, we got more love off of foodies, these people that do reviews and stuff like that, than I had more like a bigger following from one food guy than all the news places combined.
And he was on Fox, all Fox channels.
We went nationwide on Fox
and Telemundo.
But yeah, it was insane. So that's one thing that blew my mind. I thought we were gonna get mad followers and stuff like that from all these news places, but no, just one food critic can really change your business
for the better and for the worse.
Yeah, for the good and for bad.
Yeah, I watched that because I'm always on his booty about like that dirty dining thing that they put on.
Yeah. No, you're gonna get clean food when you when you go to our place. We got an A rating.
Yeah, ABC 15 or the other one, but they have a segment on YouTube that literally put all these restaurants like full like chains. It's not just like mom and pop shops.
That's the thing they do.
Yeah, and then they put you on blast about what you did wrong and like how and some people get shut down. I'm just like that. I'm not about to put that shit on blast. Like that is not what we need at all.
We would never be there.
It's already like a negative stigma in general for some that people who don't understand the prison lifestyle or never tried the food and think it's like poison or some craziness that has like a shank in it or whatever. We don't need any of that bad publicity at all. Even though are we gonna talk about it? Should I talk about Fox?
Oh, you got you now.
Yeah. Well, one of the Fox, because we did like what Fox 10, Fox 3, or I don't know. It went everywhere. Different Foxes. They hit us up to do an interview and promote the business, but one of the anchors talked crap about the just trying prison food, just the being willing to try prison food and like involve the other like news anchors, like I don't know, the weatherman and like the other dude, if they would ever try it, because like, oh my god, it's disgusting, and they're law-abiding citizens, which I'm like, ew, people going wild, sick them. But like, it was so offensive. It's like, bro, you hit us up, like, and your other like news people, like, how there's different Foxes, whatever, like everybody else is all positive and like all about it, but like for whatever reason that chick freaking said what she said, and
they asked us for the interview and then just pretty much just badmouthed us throughout the whole segment or whatever,
like the introduction part of it.
And all publicity is usually
but
good.
It was funny because everybody freaking went off. Like that
was actually our best one.
Yeah, people didn't even know, like people we didn't know like support us like that or like were that passionate about us. They literally wrote the news station, like they like had a shit fit about what they said, even without him being upset first or like putting on blast he was upset or putting them on blast that they put us on blast. There was so many people that like protected us and said stuff.
They were sending me screenshots of their emails that they were sending to Fox and stuff like that, which was dope.
Yeah, because like it's awesome because like obviously he has no problem defending himself or like knowing that was wrong and bullshit and everything, but to have like strangers or repeat customers or whoever just take that upon themselves when they saw it themselves and be like, oh hell no, like don't be putting that stuff out there when, well, first of all you hit us up first, and then like also when like
that was dirty of them.
Yeah, it was just so dumb and unnecessary. But anyways, but the person that did the interview themselves, she loved us and she was all about it, and she apologized on behalf of the news anchor because she did not know, like they just go off the cuff or whatever. So like that was just her personal opinion, so we don't need her. But yeah, like when it comes to foodies and everything, like, but that was what I was trying to say. I was trying to shout out to all the people that waited in line after the senior foodie.
Yeah.
We had over an hour and a half wait, which like no wait at all, or maybe 10, 15 minutes, depending on if he has to heat up more food or whatever the case may be. And people legitimately waited over an hour for prison food.
Yeah.
And we had a humongous line, awesome. And it was amazing. So, take that lady at the what is it called, the tamale lady? No, the tamale lady that's in the parking lot. What is it, Food City or whatever the hell it is? Yeah, Ranch Market, there you go. And so yeah, like that's awesome. But let's see, what's your next event, and then we're gonna close it up after that.
We'll be out every Wednesday, 40th Street in Washington. But yeah, that's about
Kickback, we're gonna be there.
Oh yeah, we'll be at the Kickback on the 23rd, March 23rd on 40th Street in Washington as well. That's from 5 to 10.
The Kickback, no, 7 to 11.
7 to 11, my bad. Yeah.
And that's about it. But I wanted to say thanks for being my first guest. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. We appreciate y'all. If you want to be a guest, April is wide open in the upcoming months. So there's a form on our Facebook page, or you can just DM us on Instagram or Facebook, and hit us up and see when we can book you if you're free on Mondays at 8 p.m. And I think that's it. Next week is gonna be Liberty Tax. So stay tuned for that. We'll put out promo and everything. So yeah, thanks everybody.